Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the victorious hockey company, and the ever nuts and crazy junior hockey discussion group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. That is WSBN.TV, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Hopefully this morning, bright and early, Monday. What day is today? January 8th, 2024. I didn't turn the page on the year until like a couple of days later. So Eric Ballard is my guest today. It's the wrap on Monday. Good morning, Eric. How was beautiful Jackson Hole this morning?
Oh, it's great. It's great. The moon and Venus are almost in line. It's nice and cool outside and clear. You can see the stars. Beautiful morning.
Venus. You can see that from Jackson Hole? Nice.
That's what I'm told. I don't know. I'm not an astrologist, but what I'm told.
Well, we have to be excited. We're a couple of days beyond it, but World Junior Championship wrapped up. You have to be happy with USA Hockey and the result they got in Sweden, winning all their games. The 6-2 win and the gold medal game over host Sweden was epic in my thoughts. It's really a testament to what USA Hockey's been able to do when it comes to development, and you're a big part of that.
Yeah, no, I think it was awesome. This is the best time of the year, right? We've been doing this a couple of years now, and kind of the whole world stops. You get to watch some junior hockey and some of the best 17 to 20-year-olds in the country and the world, and it was a great time. And that final game was just the U.S. just kept coming and coming and coming. And no question, a great testament to USA Hockey, the National Development Program, and where we as a country in the game have taken our player development and just it consistently gets better every year. And being a part of USA Hockey, it's awesome to see.
A lot of people take shots at the National Team Development Program, but we are really experiencing the fruits of that investment as a sport here in the United States. Do you think that Canada and Canadians are starting to take notice of that program, or are they just going to stay with what they're doing with the major juniors and their system? I mean, it's apparent that it works, right? I mean, we're developing a lot of very high-end players, and they're playing as a team earlier on. And I think we're reaping those rewards.
Yeah, I think that us as a country, we've kind of, I wouldn't say perfected, but definitely the U.S. development program has proved since it started, it continually gets better and better and better. And I think there was an incubation of about 10 years after we kind of started the development program and the ADM and everything, that we had, a plethora of first-round NHL draft picks that year. And it was about 5 or 6 years, maybe a little longer. I can't remember, but it works for us, and I think, people do take shots at it, but it's working, and it's working well. I don't think Canada or other countries are they're probably going to look at that model. It's kind of non-traditional, but I think Canada across the border, they've got the CHL, they've got the Quebec Major, the OHL, and the Dub. It kind of represents in some fashion what we have with the development program. So I don't see Canada changing anything in the future. I could be wrong, though. I'm not Canadian.
Yeah. Hey. It's interesting. Over the last 2 years, when it comes to game results, both of us have been pretty accurate when predicting the outcomes of these World Junior Games. I don't know if we can do that in the USHL or the North American Hockey League as well. I've tried it in the past. I hit about 60%, 70%. It's not easy. But we come out of this tournament after 2 years now of doing this, and you are only a game ahead of me in overall standings after 2 years. It really makes us much more interested in every single game at World Juniors, at least I am, because we're always going head to head, and it's kind of fun to take part in that one. Congratulations.
It's been fun. I'm, it could have went either way. A couple of those games this year, just surprised both of us, and we both picked losers. And to come out just one game ahead is it's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to next year already, buddy.
Believe it, 2025 is the next one. That seems like we've been friends since the 90s. Now it's almost 2025. Dude, I can't even fathom that, It just shows how old we're getting so quickly.
Well, I'm looking forward to 26. Minnesota's hosting the World Juniors in 26, so I'll be heading back home, and we'll do this. We can do this show from my home state of Minnesota.
The great hockey state of Minnesota. I'm not too excited about going to Minneapolis for anything. I usually try to go around Minneapolis. I rarely go right through it when I'm going up to Blaine. So to actually be in the heart of Minneapolis, I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, it's the Excel is in a decent area, but I understand what you're saying. It's a sad day. Part of those areas in Minneapolis, what it's become.
Let's going to turn the page to something else that is driving me nuts after the weekend. Question is, in today's article on HeisHockey.com, you can get more details on what I'm about to say. Should USA Hockey force the immediate death penalty suspension of the Helena Bighorns? Eric, I don't know if USA Hockey has a death penalty. I don't know if they have the power to just shut a team down mid-season, but they should. If Dave Tyler was around right now, there's no way those gong show antics in Helena would be continued. He would just shut the damn thing down. What is going on with USA Hockey, and what can we do to stop the madness in Montana?
We talked a little bit yesterday about it, and I caught just the tail end of the last game. Well, not even tail end, just highlights. I wouldn't call them highlights, just the fighting. But I think it's not a good look for junior hockey. It's not a good look for teams that present themselves in that manner. We all understand that it sometimes it happens, and it's impulsive. At least it should be, and happens at the NHL all the way down. But USA Hockey's reach over a league. USA Hockey is a national governing body. Obviously, they have they oversee everything in our country. I don't know how close they'll get to the flame on this one. I think it's probably more in lines with the NA3 and their leadership group that will have to step in and do something.
This is a tough question I'm going to ask you, but we know about knee-jerk reactions in hockey. We saw that with the net guards. We're seeing it in other aspects with head injuries and those things. Does somebody really have to die to put an end to these kind of antics?
You hope not. You hope that it never gets to that point, and it's not even, that's obviously extreme, right? And we've talked about this. A death would be obviously very, very bad. But I don't think it even has to get to that point where I think cleaning it up, and it's tough because not everybody's in these markets watching these games. I don't watch a lot of junior games other than the World Junior. So you don't see it firsthand. And, but I would say that there has to be some quality control in place from leadership within these leagues, no matter where they're at, no matter what league they're in, to make sure this type of behavior is not, put up on a pedestal, put on social media, those types of things. I think it needs to get cleaned up for sure.
There's only 3 USA Hockey sanctioned junior leagues in the United States now. Everybody else has left and done something else. The USPHL, the Eastern Hockey League. So is it time for USA Hockey to make a bold statement regarding sanctioned junior hockey in the United States? It's time to close the doors on the dangerous culture being encouraged and celebrated by the Bighorns organization. And we're hearing from parents of current and past Bighorn players. About half the team is playing for free. The guys that are paying the way, and now some of those kids that are playing for free are also getting free billets. When you can recruit a team pretty easily at the pay-to-play level when half the team's not paid to play. But what's really discouraging for me is hearing that ownership is enabling this behavior, they're encouraging this behavior, and they're celebrating this behavior. that sounds like a situation that's doomed to be something very chaotic and very catastrophic at some point. This is a good hockey market. I remember when Butters was in Helena, and we had some heavy hitting, but it was never as crazy as it is now. And I think it's time to USA Hockey step in and do something. Mark Frankenfeld, well, he's not famous for doing anything when it comes to the discipline of these teams. I mean, unless he doesn't like the guy or Fawcett doesn't like the guy, like we've seen with Corey Millen and St. Cloud in the NAHL, it seems to be that enforcement is very selective. And we haven't seen the league go after ownership or clubs in general. It's always been going after the individual coaches and players.
Yeah, and you would know more about that than I would. I don't delve that deep. But I think, I was in the North American League for a few years and part of the board of directors or governors, excuse me. And there's always conversations behind closed doors that don't make public. I would think that there's probably going to be a conversation about the Helena Bighorns and any team for that matter that has this type of behavior. I believe the commissioner of the NA3, I would think that they're going to have some oversight in this. It's a very wide open conversation. And I agree with you. It has to be cleaned up. I'm not saying I condone it at all. I think the one thing that's really tough is if we don't have quality controls in place and procedural situations that come out of these things, it does give kind of the Wild West mentality. And you don't want somebody to get hurt. My son played junior for 4 years. I wouldn't want him in a situation like that, the receiving end of any of that as a parent. I think that I think there might be something come down, but again, I'm not that deep and that in tune with that group.
The general thought is that USA Hockey will not directly address the problem. They're going to turn it over to the league and make the league do something. We know in the past that really hasn't happened. There is that situation. USA Hockey meetings are going to be here in Orlando in a few weeks. I think I'm pretty good at making sure everybody knows about a problem. I got a pretty big mouth. But it's the court of public opinion where the most damage can be inflicted. And that's where probably I'm the strongest when it comes to getting something done. And a lot of times I hate having to be that guy. But Eric, this has got to end. And it's not going to be good for the 3HL, North American Hockey League, or junior hockey if something catastrophic happens and as a result of them not doing anything. So we know in the past when we've had major issues, Sheridan Hawks, for example, when they didn't do anything, that we were able to inflict some kind of control or some kind of damage control. We just stopped players from going to Sheridan. Do you think that's the route that we have to take with Helena?
I think that because of social media and the ability to see these types of things, I think when organizations act in that manner, it doesn't take much. If you're a parent looking for a junior hockey program right now for your players' development and your players' safety, I would think that would probably hinder most parents for sending their child to an area like that regardless. So I think that if it's not cleaned up and the attitude consistently raises its ugly head in those areas, I would think that would be detrimental to the club as far as recruiting. I don't think there's a lot that needs to be said or done sometimes because, word of mouth is word of mouth. You said it perfectly. Being an advocate for cleaning it up, I think that'll take care of itself. But, they're a storied franchise. They've been around for a long time. The Bighorns have been around. Brent DeGrusa and Mike Butters and that group were around a long time. So let's hope that it doesn't get to the point where there's anybody that gets hurt permanently, death or anything of that nature, and hopefully it gets cleaned up.
Very good. Let's wrap this show up. Folks, 15 minutes went by quick. So we hope that you